Beep boop bop boop, I am a robot.
Just kidding, I'm totally human. What's up, my wild and weird digital land-loving legion? Did you have the wacky folks at Atlas start a podcast on your bingo card? I sure didn't, yet here we are. And it is an honor and a pleasure to present to you Welcome to Earth, the official Atlas reality podcast. That's right, our beautiful Atlas tribe continues to grow into such an interesting and invested collective, we thought what better way to connect with you, our gaming gang, than starting a podcast. Because it's reading 2024 on the Now meter, y'all, and that's what all the cool kids are doing, so why the heck not? We're gonna give everyone an inside look at what's going on with us at the company, have some fascinating guests on, and chop it up about the state of today. So suit up and strap in, my intrepid explorers. We're about to go on a journey where we nerd out about all sorts of nebulous news and ramble relentlessly, unfurling nonsensical non sequiturs at every turn. I'm your partner in prose, Derek, and for our first episode, we thought it was only fitting to have the man helming the rocket ship we call Atlas Earth, the visionary CEO of Atlas Reality, someone who I feel privileged to build alongside and call a friend, Samy Khan. Samy, before we dive in, this is crazy. Atlas Earth is going nuts. We're starting a podcast. How does it feel to be you right now in the middle of all of this?
Honestly, it's a bit wild. At the same time, I think all y'all keep me humble. It's fun. I am the butt of all jokes at the company, so it's not so much where it's like, oh, you know, the iron door. It feels great, you know. I talked to a friend the other day, and they basically said it's like a baby, you know. We've been at Atlas Reality. We've been doing this since 2018. And the semblance of what became Atlas Reality, I've been doing since 2014. And so it's incredible, Derek. I mean, to be in this opportunity to do what we just did with the music video, which I'm sure we'll dedicate a whole episode to. And we're just getting to do really fun stuff. This podcast, you know, I have to say, like, I'm not on Reddit, but I read Reddit. I read the YouTube comments. I read the Facebook groups, and the passion that the community brings to the table just warms my heart. And it's so great. And you know, it's just a shift in, I think, how people are starting to perceive, hey, Atlas Earth is real. Atlas Earth is here to stay. And that's been exciting to see that shift, because I think we started this app at a time when many people were out there just trying to do money grabs and not trying to build something for the future that's long lasting. And Derek, you know this, when we built this app, that was not our goal. You know, our goal was not to create some get rich quick cryptocurrency and things like that. So just being able to do this with you, being able to do this with the team, being able to do this with the community who's watching, it's a dream come true. And that's not even an exaggeration.
Yeah, it feels like the culture at the company starts everything, and the community has felt the energy of what we have internally and is, you know, in reciprocity giving that back. And the positivity I've seen and gotten to be a part of is, yeah, it's mind-blowing stuff. Humbling.
Totally. And for those who are watching in the community, you do make a difference when when you step up and you defend what we're doing, and you love what we're doing, and you call us out on bugs. Like, all those things are great things. And there's no such thing as a bad day working here when we know that we're really working for you, and we're working to get this thing to be as big as we can be. And I truly believe in the bottom of my heart that this could be, you know, nobody knows what the next Facebook is, what the next TikTok is, but I think that Atlas Earth has a shot to be something way bigger than what it is today, and it's going to continue to do that. And yeah, so everyone makes a difference, and for the community members watching, you make a difference, and we're listening and we're watching and hearing what you have to say, whether you think we're doing it or not. So
100%, and we're putting ourselves out there for you guys. This is another level of transparency and, you know, skin in the game for us. So we're pleased to continue to bring it to them like this and give everybody even more of an inside look at what we're doing. So why don't we give the good people your kind of condensed backstory and what led to where we're at today in the creation of Atlas Earth?
Yeah, so I've been really fortunate with specifically two other startups. So for those who don't know, I've actually been a marketer by trade pretty much since 2013. Was one of the first folks to run app install ads on Facebook, now called Meta. And so I was fortunate enough to be the first marketer at a fintech startup called Acorns, which is now, you know, I think over 10 million Americans use the app. For those who don't know, it's just a spare change. You know, you round up your spare change into a stock portfolio, and a lot of people use it to manage their money. And then while I was at Acorns, I started helping out a couple friends with their browser extension company called Honey, and Honey just blew up. And before we knew what we got. I think in 2020, PayPal bought it for like, I don't know, billions in cash. And so I got to see how, affiliate marketers and just everyday Americans, this thought process of, hey, people want to save, people want to build up some wealth, whether it's from coupon codes or from investing. And so that was really fun to kind of be my history. And both those things kind of led me to this concept at Atlas Earth, which is, man, at Acorns, the hardest thing to do was getting people to go, give me $5 to invest in your future. But when it came time for people to play video games or buy a beer, $5 is nothing. And it just made me realize, what if you can combine the utility of having fun with the added benefit of getting something back? What if that beer you bought was actually somehow giving you something back, right? What if the games you played somehow gave you something back? And that idea just kept drilling a hole in my mind. And then all this experience at Honey and how they were making money from all these brands, it just started coming together. And I thought, man, what if we can do something really cool with this virtual real estate where it's ownership on so many different levels. It's emotional, it's rational, it's competitive. So yeah, that's the background of what led us here.
Yeah, it's incredible to witness kind of everything get distilled from your background into what you're bringing into this, and the hybrid space it occupies between fintech and gaming. And
yeah, and I think, look, I don't know that a lot of people realize they look at this and go, how is this possible? It must be a scam of some sort. But the truth is, the dirty truth about the internet is if you bring a lot of people together in one place, there are advertisers and brands that will pay money for those eyeballs. And the other dirty truth is there are billionaires being made off of people's attention. For example, Meta is making billions of dollars probably every day. I don't know their exact numbers right now, but like, what do the people who post on Meta get? Nothing. They get nothing. And so, they always say, like, if the product is free, you are the product. They're taking you and then selling you. And so I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, because most people don't care, which is why people use Facebook and TikTok so much. But I think if companies were less greedy, then there's some really cool things they could do with that, right? I mean, I think the future of social media is inevitably going to be platforms that give creators more and viewers more, because there's just a lot of money to go around. And these companies make a lot of money. So I think it's the future of the internet. Everyone gets their piece a little bit and has fun along the way.
Seems to be shifting to a more symbiotic dynamic, and people are hip to the fact that they've become the product to a certain degree, and I think the tide is shifting because of that.
Yeah, and I've heard a friend of mine who, he ran marketing back in the day for like Nike and stuff, and they said, back in the day, brand loyalty was a feeling, but now brand loyalty is rational, meaning who's going to give me the best for the cheapest. And so, loyalty discounts and things like that are becoming more and more and more common. I mean, food apps, you download the McDonald's or Chick-fil-A app, and every $10 you spend, they're giving you $1 back. I mean, everyone's coming to terms with the future, which is, it's no longer just a feeling. So Atlas Earth is in a really unique spot here, where I think we give you the, for me, I'm about to get to, I think, 1,000 parcels, maybe a little over. And for those watching, no, these are all money I put, my own money. We don't ever give out parcels to employees or anything like that. I mean, Derek, this is really important to us, to kind of keep the honesty of the system. And for me, it's Atlas Earth is, I've never played a game for this many years straight, mobile game. And, I'm buying land. I'm more of an emotional buyer. I buy land in places that mean something to me. And the real shame of that is I'm not a mayor, because I just keep buying it like places that I'm like, oh, I love this grocery store, or my daughter was born at this hospital, or whatever, right? And I'm just an emotional buyer of like, I want to remember this moment and this place. But yeah. What about you? I mean, I know we were on the road trip, you're collecting, you love your diamonds. I mean, you're probably out there,
Hearing Manning talk about game theory optimists and our understanding of people who have really spent time on understanding the in-game economics and how to maximize gameplay it's a trip to me, because yes, I am much more of an emotional, casual player, but love, yes, collecting diamonds and it's fun road trip shotgun riding style fun, like, and that's definitely where I'm at. But it's I love learning more about how people are really playing the game in a way that is operator oriented and very mathematically forethought about. So it's all a fun learning curve for me as well, because I come from outside of the gaming industry, so it's been fun to dive in this way.
Hey y'all, if you're enjoying these random musings, do all those nice internet etiquette things with us, would you? Bombard the like button, subscribe, and comment your sweet nothings, my glorious gaming friends. We appreciate it. This is the part where I pause and recommend downloading Atlas. It's fun, it's the future. Don't be a goose canoe and have someone else buy your favorite real-world places digitally before you get to them. Download it now so you can start generating some virtual rent immediately.
So over the last couple of months, we've really expanded the variety of ways that you can earn Atlas bucks. Is that something we're going to continue to do and see more of in the game?
People love Atlas bucks. I love Atlas bucks so much that I try to keep at least 1,000 on hand. The legendary parcel upgrades have definitely run me a bit dry, so I gotta, the Explorer Club subscription is helping me. But one of the big things that was important to me was, this isn't just a game for people who have money, disposable income. I think there are different archetypes. And so certainly one of it is the free to play. And I want people to know that we love all these types of players. We like the free to play players. We like the whales. Everybody, I think it's going to be really hard to be a free to play player and become a governor or a prime minister or president. I think that's pretty much, accepted, right? But I'll tell you, I love Atlas travel. I mean, every time I travel, like, I don't use the Chase portal. I use Atlas Travel. I don't use Expedia. I don't use, I used to book with Expedia or hotels.com, and I stopped using that. And so one of the goals is, like, yes, of course, people love owning more land. People have rational and emotional connections to the land that they're buying. And we want to always bring new, and, if you will, accessible ways to earn Atlas bucks. And I think that's so important. Surveys, I understand it's not for everyone. Arcade, a lot of people use it. I use it too when I'm kind of low. Obviously Explorer Club. We've got this new thing coming that, maybe by the time this podcast posts, the feature's already out, called the challenges. And challenges are basically just doing other things in the game will earn you points towards more free Atlas bucks and more free things in the game, including a legendary parcel or badges. So it really starts getting some value there just by playing the game. And so the ultimate goal, Derek, has always been, we reward you. I mean, if I were to boil down Atlas Earth, forget that it's a game, forget it. We want to reward you for your time, attention, and loyalty. And I think whether we win or not, obviously I want us to win, because I think that concept is a $100 billion company. But whether we win or not, at the very least, what I would call a victory is changing the landscape of future generations of what products are from here forth, right? Which is everyone wins, which we talked about at the top of this podcast. So yeah, I mean, we've got ideas, like crazy ideas with landmarks that I don't want to fully talk about yet, that,
Of course,
allow multiple people to earn Atlas bucks by, basically, let's just say, tangentially being involved with landmarks. We're going to open basically a digital store soon, sometime in 2025. So imagine you becoming a designer in Atlas Earth.
okay.
There's some really cool stuff. But then we were thinking about the fact that our Reddit, I believe, is one of the top 5% of most active subreddits on the site. And so we're realizing, wow, our community, they love talking to each other. They love posting videos and things like that. So we're going to bring social media into the app. And then we're going to reward not only the creators of people who post on our channels, in our social media in Atlas Earth, but also we're having fun ideas about, like, how do we reward the people who are just scrolling? Because right now, you scroll through Facebook or TikTok, you don't get for it. You're like, just,
Right.
you're just watching ads. The ads are making them money, and then you close the app after 2 hours, and you're like, where'd my 2 hours go? And so again, I just think that Atlas bucks are so powerful. People love them because they want to buy badges, they want to buy land, they want to buy legendary parcel upgrades. So adding more of these features that are people naturally do. And I think that's the other thing you'll notice on our website now. We changed We don't use the word metaverse anymore, just because I think that that term has been a bit more tainted by, let's just say, the bad actors. But we call Atlas Earth the digital layer of the real world. And I think we've proven ourselves. I mean, it's a big statement, but we've proven ourselves because you take surveys in the app, you book hotels through the app, you go shopping on AMP, if you're in the United States, sometimes international. But these are all these things. We want you to do all of it, and we want to reward you. And the longer people go without rewarding you, you're just sending them to us, to Atlas Earth. And so we either win or we change the industry, and both are okay. But yeah, we're gonna keep figuring out ways to give people more free Atlas bucks. That is a symbiotic, like you said, a symbiotic relationship where we make money and they make Atlas bucks, and inevitably that turns into more virtual rad and more land in a sustainable way. And I can't say that enough. The name of the game is sustainability. You know, when people leave comments like we need more virtual rad, it's like, yeah, I know, but like the money is coming from somewhere, and we also have to leave money to pay our engineering team. I mean, we've got a team of 30 people and growing. So I think these are all things that we want the community to know. But yeah, we're putting our heads down and we're figuring out more symbiotic ways to make this thing blow up.
Yeah, the economy balancing that's going on behind the scenes is something to marvel at, that how much foresight is going into what's going on here to preserve it for the long term.
I just want to point this out, which is this game launched in 2021. In the last 3 years, the United States and the world have suffered some of the worst inflation in our history. I mean, if you just compare literally anything to the prices of 2021, anything, cereal, cars, houses, it does not matter. In the real world, everything, I guarantee, has gone up at least 30%, sometimes double or triple. The price of land has not, in terms of AB. The boost rates have not changed since we launched, even though advertisers pay us less since 2021. I can go on and on, but I think I just want, Derek, I'm glad you brought that up, because like we designed this thing where it's sustainable despite what I would say is like insane macroeconomic movements in the world, where everyone has to raise their prices to keep up. And by the way, like it's not like servers are getting cheaper. It's not like, we have to deal with those costs too, right? And I feel like the easy answer would be like, sorry guys, we have to pay you slightly less rent, or sorry, we have to pump the price of a parcel of land from 100 AB to 300 AB. And, it hasn't been the case, and that's one thing as CEO is really important to me, is preserving that kind of like Atlas is actually, we may look back years and years from now and go, man, the Atlas economy is better than the US economy in some ways. Like it hasn't, I'd say that half jokingly, but like, I think there's something to that's been really, really, I would say been close to my heart, because I've been involved in the economy balancing, as I am proud that we've gone through some crazy swings. There was an industry called hyper casual, a gaming entire industry where their entire industry was dependent on these ads. And hyper casual, there's companies out there that used to be called like Voodoo. I mean, they're all dead. They disappeared. So I just want our community to understand, like we went through, the gaming industry has gone through some turmoil. I mean, every game has laid off people, and a lot of them have closed up shop. I mean, even Epic Games laid off 1,000 people, and they got Fortnite. And so it's been fun to grow through that. Obviously, the community is a big deal, big part of that, but it's been fun to hold our promise. And so yeah, we have legalese that says we have the reserve to right to change, but like obviously that's like a break glass in emergencies type of thing, and that we've gone through some crazy times in the world and in the gaming industry, and I've been really proud to see how well we've kind of been resilient to that.
It's remarkable. I think the community reflects that, the fact that they understand the majority truly what we're looking to build, and they get the sense of that, the work that goes into it, and how this is bigger than the industry itself. We're looking to kind of shift the goalposts entirely around everything, and I think you see that. Yeah,
and I'll end with this last note, which I think you touched on, is Atlas Earth. I'm realizing it started as a game, but every day that goes by, man, I'm just like, this thing is. I mean, what game gets thousands of people a quarter to book hotels? What game, gets people to go across multiple states to go buy land where their grandma used to live? This is so beyond, I think what I have imagined, I'm sure what you've imagined when we put this thing together. I mean, honestly, I feel kind of emotional thinking about that, but it's like, so, so I think where Atlas Earth can go is as a project, and I don't even want to say it as a project, but I hesitate to just call it a game, is I really think that it's got something where it's like, it's a category creator. People ask me like, what is this thing? And it's like, is it a game? Is it a social media app? Some can argue it's already a social media app, opening the app to see other people who've physically been where you are standing right now. I mean, there's a sense of community there that I've never felt anywhere else. And I don't know these people, they're strangers, but I just know that they were standing right where I'm standing, and that human connectivity is crazy. So that's the future. That's where I think is like, it's bigger than a game. And I think where we want to go with this is, what if we could put community trivia in here? What if we could, work with sports leagues? What if these are all things swimming in my head of like the what ifs? Obviously none of this is promises of things coming in the app or hints. Please don't look into this too deep, but I'm just kind of sharing with you and the community, like where my head's at, because I think that this is so to just purely look at this as solely a land grab game, I think would be potentially underselling where this thing could go.
Yeah, it's definitely its own animal all to itself. And yeah, to see where we're going to take it is really fun. And the respect of the community that we've garnered is not easily won in today's marketplace, I think.
Yeah.
And
look, we want to keep going. Obviously, like the community we built today is amazing. And I don't think either of us are saying like this is a victory lap. I think we're just reflecting on how far we've come. But I think about it every morning. I wake up and I'm like, I could do 5 more years of this, easily.
It's like we're just getting started.
Yeah. Like this is not, I've met plenty of people that are like, oh, your startup's doing well, you should like try and sell it. It's like, no, this is like the coolest thing I've ever worked on.
It's a real honor and a pleasure to be a part of this kind of heady of a room and to see the spaces and the places we're making headway. It's really a privilege.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I hope everyone's kind of enjoyed this insight. It's been mostly just us talking and, shooting the shit a little bit, but I think there's a ton of fun stuff coming. We're going to try to get some cool, celebrity investors maybe, or just, other team members, partners, AMP partners. We'll see what we can get out of this. Right. But I think, Derek, you're basically famous. Your face is famous. So I think, a lot of people might want to line up to just be on a podcast with you.
Well, what do you even say there? Who knows? We'll see. This public facing thing it's a fun animal. I'm excited. We've cracked the ice on the podcast. This was, coming to this being an exciting possibility has been a fun thing to see come to fruition. And I'm glad we've jumped in here, and
cool.
We'll see where it goes from here.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right. Well, does that feel like the pod?
Yeah.
It's been an absolute pleasure. We want to thank everybody for tuning in and checking out this inside view of what's going on at Atlas Reality. It's been such a pleasure, man. Is there anything you care to leave the community with?
No. It's awesome. Like I said, I can't thank everyone enough for playing this thing that came from our minds, and I continue to enjoy it. I stare at the land feed at all hours of the day, and so it's been great. And hopefully everyone finds value in Welcome to Earth. And yeah, what do we got next? What's next episode? Do we know?
Episode 2 coming up. Come back, y'all. Tune in. We are going to dive in with our COO, Manning, and get some of his backstory and history and his insights on what we got cooking as the latest and greatest stuff going on with us. So
awesome. That's gonna be a good one.
Heck yeah. I'm very excited. Very excited.
Well, thank you, Derek.
Thank you, Samy.
Yep.
Until the next one.